friends, it's Kathy Clement with Kathy by Design. Welcome to Make and Take Tuesday. This is a little series that I do weekly on my blog where I introduce a new tool, paper collection, technique, product, die, stamp, and we make something beautiful together. All this year in 2023, we've been working with Graphic 45's Flower Market collection, making a monthly folio. So you can kind of chronicle your year, and we are up to September. So you need to pull from your paper stash both sheets of your 12 by 12 Flower Market and both sheets of your 8 by 8 Flower Market. And then you need to get your journal cards for September. And then from your die cut ephemera, I have this lovely little frame that goes with this month, this clock, this floral cluster, and then from your chipboard, this little chipboard button. You will also need your dies that has the file folder and all the extras, and then this one that is the ATC policy envelope with the butterflies and all the extras. I'll list everything. I'm also going to be using, because we don't have quite enough of the Graphic 45 paper, I went into my stash searching for I call this the guest star of the month, and this month it's going to be from Authentique. It's an older collection called Stitches, and it's a very, very good match. And I'll tell you how I select this for those of you who are new. I try to pick up on tones, and you just see how the tone of this pink goes very well with the pink tones in this paper. And then also the same is true for the blues. They're almost an identical match color-wise. So even though this is floral themed and this is sewing themed, they're going to work together very, very well. I try to avoid a lot of florals because this is such a heavily floral collection. So what I look for is patterns that will kind of work with. And like even this damask is really pretty. It kind of matches up well with the almost mushroom colors in the paper collection. So I have this, and then this wonderful stripe, this wonderful gingham, which look how good the blue matches. That's what I'm looking for, is that the tones match. So not just blue, but the same sort of blue that's in that paper. And then this one, I'm not sure of. I might be able to use parts of it, but not use other parts of it. It's a little, I'm not sure. We'll see what happens, but I pulled it just in case. And then the back side is these thimbles, which I can definitely use. Then I have a whole bunch of 3x4s. This pink is divine with it. Look at that. That is a winner. I'm so excited about that one. And then more 3x4s. This also has the pink on the side. And then I have the stickers. I got this when I was on their design team. Then for cardstock, I had a hard time making up my mind, but I decided to go with this blue, grayish blue. This is called Partly Cloudy. This is Spellbinders 100-pound cardstock. I'm really loving this. They've just started carrying it, and I'm a fan. It's very, very good cardstock. And then I just have some basic cream, and then this is also Spellbinders. It is called Dune, and I really liked the way these colors kind of pulled everything together. This is a very busy pattern with like a riot of colors, which is beautiful, but I needed something that kind of pulled it together. And I tried pinks and I tried purples, and they just, they didn't work. But this cloudy blue and this dune just calm everything down, and I think it's gonna be beautiful together. I also pulled from my dies, just for the fun of it. I have Annette Green's Everyday Elements from Elizabeth Craft Designs. I have her Fancy Flourishes. I have her postage stamps, her lacy borders, and her large doilies and small doily dies. So I may be adding those to the mix. So let's go ahead, get started, get our folio built, and we'll get this tutorial rocking. we're going to get started building this folio. So you're going to need two 8.5 by 11 sheets of your Dune cardstock or some other beige. And I put 1/4 inch score tape along the end, right along the very edge. And you want to do this as straight as you possibly can. And then I'm angling this so I can see that inside edge. And I'm going to line my other piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock up along that score tape. So we end up nice and straight. I'm just going to burnish it down with my bone folder. I'm going to bring in my scoring tool. And we've got this great big long side on there. And we're going to score this at 4. And then at 4 3/8. Then we're going to fold on this 4 3/8 line, and we're going to score it at 8.5. And we're going to score it at 8 7/8, which is another 3/8 of an inch. So, all right. So this is going to fold up, and this is going to fold up. This is your inner pocket, and this folds down, and this folds down, and this is your cover. All right, so it looks like this. Now I'm going to show you how to add your side pieces to your folio. You're going to cut two 8.5 by 8.25 inch pieces of your Dune cardstock. Put it on your scoring tool with the 8.5 side against the rail. And then you're going to score it 1/2, and you're going to move over 3/8 of an inch and score again. You can see I've already added my little flap on the left. Now we're going to add it on the right. So fold along those scored lines, and you want to lay the 1/2 inch side next to your folio. And we're going to put 1/2 inch score tape down. Oops. Then we're going to position this on the 8.5 inch part of our folio so that it's even top and bottom and lined up right along this edge, nice and straight, just as straight as you can get it. Peel off your tape. Fold your flap over. And now you can fold on this 3/8 inch line. And so here we go. Inside pocket, left hand flap, right hand flap, front cover. And that is your folio all made. All right, friends, now we're going to go to work on our cover, and I just want you to see how pretty this is together. It is really beautiful. So I love this color combination. I'm really pleased with that. So set this aside. We're not going to work with this for a minute, and you want to cut from your cream cardstock. This is 8 1/4, and then the blue is 8 1/8. Okay, square. Locate your 8 by 8 sheet of Flower Market and trim it into 2 4 by 8 panels. Put this one away for later use. And then take the other one and trim it to a height of 7 7/8. And this is going to be our border piece. We're not going to cover this entire thing because I'm trying to conserve paper. So I'm going to show you very quickly how to miter corners. And those of you who have seen this done a million times, I will not be offended if you skip ahead to the next part. The way that I do this, and it's very simple, is I take my two 1" by 7 7/8 inch pieces and I line them up together so that they are perpendicular and completely straight. Then I come in at the corner and I cut from the inside corner to the outside corner, and you can see, then they match up perfectly. So you're going to do that on each of your sides all the way around your paper. Now, if you want to ink the edges, this would be the time. I don't choose to do that. So I've got my 4 pieces, and because I'm going to sew this on my sewing machine, I'm going to just put my adhesive right in the center of each of these little panels. And then I'm going to lay them down so that they line up. I'm just securing them with a tiny bit of adhesive in the center so that I can, it's just easier to sew that way. But I don't want to stitch through a whole bunch of adhesive because that could be a disaster. All right, friends, I've done my stitching around the outside edge, and I'll just show you very quickly. I usually come in and just put a little adhesive under my corners just to seal those really well. And you can see how pretty those mitered corners are once you've stitched everything together. It just really works. It's so pretty. And here is our large image. So before we glue this down, I took our 12 by 12 border and I cut it into a 3/4 inch piece so that I can add this blue right here. And then down here, I've got our little eyelets. So out of one piece, out of one 6-inch piece of border, I got both of these pieces cut out, which is also a good paper saving tip. And then I did my little calendar. And you can see I've matted these on slightly larger layers of the dune and the cloudy sky. Now this all glues down on our cover. Just like this. Wow, that is so pretty. I really like the way that little touch of the tan really calmed this whole thing down. Then I've got our little wisdom that's going to go right up here in the corner. And I matted that on dune, and I put a foam tab on the outside edge. Here's our 9. And I did the same thing here, a little foam on the outside edge. Symbol of love goes right here. And then I've got our chipboard piece. goes this way, right here. So that's the cover, and we'll set this aside and add it at the end, but turned out so pretty. This was the right choice, that soft blue and the cream with the dune is going to be beautiful. Now we want to go to work on our top inside cover. It's easier to work without the portfolio down there. That's just unwieldy. So we'll move that. And I went into my Authentique paper and I cut and just barely a hair over 8 by 12-inch piece of paper. And then I scored this at 1/4. And we're going to have our little flip on the top this time. I think it's going to be fun. I have this beautiful image from the Authentique paper, and I'm going to bring in one of the lace borders from Annette and glue it across the top. All right, and this is going to go down right here. And then I want to dress this up with this gorgeous fancy flourish, just like this. There we go. And then I have our pretty floral cluster that I'm going to add here, pulling in those graphic 45 designs. And I have this little tag. This is making things pretty, 1 stitch at a time. This is from Authentique. All right, and then our sweet little butterfly right here. So this will lift up. Then we're going to take this piece and turn it into a pocket, because look how pretty this looks together. I really like that. So I'm just going to do a simple U pocket, no gussets or anything this time, and center this up at the bottom. And then the other 4x6 journal card goes in there like that. So flip this up, and this is actually a pocket on this side because I only glued the sides down. And I took these 2 postage stamps of Annette's and cut out the thimbles. And then on the back, there's a journaling spot. So those can go in this pocket. This is actually a sticker. And what I did was I put it down, and then I took my anti-static pouch and pounced it, and it dulls the stickiness. So you can open and close this and you don't have to worry about it sticking to your paper. So that's a really good tip. If you don't have one of these, you could take a little talcum powder or cornstarch and just brush it on there with a paintbrush. So I've arranged some stickers from the Authentique collection here, a little cute image here. This is glued down as a pocket. I took these 2 journal cards and glued them back to back. So there's a journaling spot here, and you could do a photo there. Then these 2 I folded together. So there's another journaling spot in here. And then our 4x6 card goes in the pocket. So that completes the top of this folio. Next, we're going to do our right-hand flap page. This is a pocket and folio page. So you've got this 4 by 8 inch piece of your floral, and then from the Authentique, I did a 9 by 5 piece of this blue gingham. Look how pretty they are together. First, we put our floral page down. And I'm going to flip this open because it's just a lot easier to work. This thing is so big. Okay. There we go. And I think on the pocket, I want to put this doily to frame this little spool of thread image. Oh yeah, that's pretty. All right, so now we're going to make our folio to go inside. All right, friends, I've cut 2 6 by 8.5 inch pieces of my cloudy blue, partly cloudy cardstock, and then I scored a 1/2 inch flap along the top of one of them. And we're going to overlap this. Just fold that flap down. And then this front piece, we're going to trim right at 6. And the bottom piece, we're going to score. The reason I flip this over is that you're going to get a better score always if you fold into the bump as opposed to against the bump. See how you have a little speed bump right there? Fold into that and you get a straighter fold. And this measures 2.5 inches. So if we take this little scrap, all right, so let's go 2.5, and then let's go 1. Show you how to make a quick little gusseted pocket here. Score this in half at 1. Score this in half at 1. Fold and crease. I've prepared a little panel of paper for the inside. Go right here. For the gussets, you're going to put the folded side of your paper against the cut side. And then just use your fingers to make sure that it's level so it doesn't poke out. Why a gusset? Because it gives us the full width of the pocket. If I had just done glue, we would have lost probably at least a ½ inch of the width of the pocket. All right. So this is 2½ by 5 7/8. Let's put this sweet little sticker right here. And the word "so lovely" right here. That finishes the inside. On the outside, I cut a 5 3/4 inch square of our dune. And a 5 1/2 inch square of this pretty pink argyle. I guess it's a diagonal plaid, really. Then I have a 5 1/2 by 2 1/2 inch piece of my blue gingham. Then I have this die cut lace border to go right here. Oops, got my fingers stuck. And then our pretty and this will go in this pocket. So that completes that flat page. All right, friends, the next thing I want to show you how to do is install this pocket. And we've been doing like these accordion size. What I did this time, and I think I like it, I just scored a line in the middle of our 3/8 inch, and then I pinched it in and folded it to create a pocket that will expand. And then I put my gussets, and these are about 3 3/4 inches by 1, folded in half. So just like we did the gussets the last time, we're doing the gussets. And we're going to put our adhesive on here. And fold this pocket up like this. And I'm pressing my scored little accordion thing together there. And I just think that's a lot simpler than the accordion pockets, and I like the way it makes the folio sit too. So let's go ahead. While we're here, we'll go ahead and we'll do this part of the folio since we're here. I've cut an 8 1/4 by 3 3/4 inch piece of this pretty pink diagonal plaid. We're going to put that on our pocket. And one of the things that I want to do is I try to pull in the graphic 45 paper so that everything flows together and it looks cohesive. All right, so we're going to line the pocket with this beautiful piece of 8 3/8 by 5 inch paper, and this is going to cover up all these messy little unions. It's going to look really good. So I'm just going to lift my pocket. All right, there we go. I love the pink with this floral. So I've got this scrap. It goes right here. Just another little touch of this paper. And this is 7 1/2 by 1 3/4. In the pocket, I've done my bookmark. And this was just using the scrap bits that are left. This is a 3 by 6 of the blue and a 2 3/4 by 5 3/4 of the dune, and then of our patterned paper it is 2 5/8 by probably 5 5/8. And I just stitched this up on my sewing machine, glued Wisdom down here. This is a little piece of the blue gingham that I stitched on at the bottom to be a border, and a sticker from the Authentique sticker sheet. This is going to go in the pocket. This beautiful die cut ephemera piece is going to go over it. Looks like a buckle. It's really pretty. All right. And then I took a scrap of my blue paper that was 5 by 8 1/2. I scored it at 3 1/2. I put my September calendar here and then lined the inside with these papers. So the inside is almost 5 by 3 1/4 and almost 5 by 5. So this is a nice little folio. This is light enough you can actually write on that if you wanted to. That goes in the pocket. So now, the next thing we want to do is add our magnets. So these are basic gray, large magnetic snaps, and I will link to these. I'm going to put this one right about, I want to go right about here. And then I'm going to take a little piece of score tape just to add the extra adhesive to make sure that it doesn't turn loose someday. And then this is the negative. See, it snaps right to it. Once the adhesive is peeled off, you want to line your page up. And we're going to bring this page over and make sure it's lined up. We're going to press into place and lift. going to secure this with a little piece of tape. Okay. Now, on this page, from my Authentique papers, this is a 12, and I think I went 12 by 8, and I scored it at 4.5. We're going to glue this down. This is the center of Annette's doily, and it makes a really cute little turn tab. So if I put this one down here, so there's a cute little turn tab. Okay. I want to go ahead and do the inside of this. So I've got this 4 by 6. I'm just going to glue it down like a U pocket. Right down here, centered up. And then to go in the pocket, I've got a couple of really cute 3 by 4s. And I want to cover up the sentiment with our September stamp, because I like that. All right. And then across the top, where'd it go? Yes. I've got this border piece. Kind of ties everything together. And then over here, I've got a couple of little photo mats. I'll put this one here. And we'll put this one down here. I didn't measure these. These were just scraps I had on my table. But you can figure out what will fit. That's not that hard. Let's put this little journal spot in between the two. Okay. So that finishes the inside. Here we are at the outside. I added this thin border here. And now we have our little ATC envelope. And so I'm going to add our little ATC envelope. And I've taken this border piece and just folded the sides in so that they fit our paper here. And I'm going to put adhesive on the little flaps that I made. And I'm also going to put it along the bottom edge of the butterfly, because that will act as a stopper so that our little card doesn't fall out of the album. But you will also be able to remove it, pull it in and out. So see? This will slip right in here. And I'm being careful because that glue has not completely set up yet. And I don't want to end up gluing it into my folio. But there you go. There's that little feature. So the right-hand side is a mirror of the left-hand side. This is 12 by 8, and we scored it at 4.5. So I don't want this floral here. I'm going to cover it with our measuring tape. And I'm a little short because I'm working with scraps now. But the height is right. So I'm going to set this right here. And then along the left-hand border, I've got this long piece of the border strip from the 12 by 12. And I'm going to fill in just like this. And now nobody knows that that's actually a floral paper on the other side. And then I'll just trim this with my scissors and all will be well. Here's our little tag pocket. And I'm just folding the flaps to the back and I'm going to glue those down. And then I cut a little insert of the spools of thread. And then this 3x4 journaling card will fit in there very nicely and look super cute. And this little wee tag can go in there. I've got this little piece of our graphic 45 paper that I'm going to wrap around the back just to tie everything in. Then we can glue this down. Right here. I'm going to kind of center it up. Straight is always good if you can make it happen. There we go. And then I've got our little circle that I cut out from the 12 by 12 that can go right in the center. And that is really cute. So that takes care of this. Oh yeah, and then I framed this postage stamp with this frame that I cut out. This postage stamp is going to go right here. I'm going to flip this open. And I have a photo mat to go right here. And there's little photo corners. So that is our right hand flap. Now we just have one more page to finish. And that is this inside left-hand page. I have cut a 7.5 by 4-inch piece of our gingham, and I have a 7.5 by 4¼ piece of our beautiful flower market. I'll try to pull this in so you can see what I'm doing. I love ginghams with florals. It's one of my favorite combinations and so very beautiful. So I'm going to take this pretty lacy piece, lace border, put it down like this, center it. Go. Then we have our little file folder, and I've done it so that the measuring tape is on the inside. That way I can use this beautiful border piece as a closure. So I'm going to glue this down. Right in the center. And then come around to the back. Just wrap it. And now we can glue this down. And then in the pocket, we can put our beautiful butterfly tag, and we can add in a sweet little ephemera card. And we put another little photo mat in there too. Okay. Up at the top, oh yeah, on the band, I've got the symbol of love. It goes right here. Got this doily. And I put the center in the doily. I'll show you why in a minute. I love that these give you the option of putting the center in or not. How pretty this is. Oops. I love how that looks. And then we have a large butterfly that we can put right here. And then I've got this that has the little individual wings. Now we can just put this together and see what we've got. Okay. All right, friends, there we are, all finished. The cover is put on the front. I really like this color combination. using the very muted tones let this bouquet in the center pop. And the sand dune color is just the perfect calming color for this. So there's our cover that we built together. And then inside, here's our little flip up page. I did add this little butterfly. It was extra on my counter. And inside we've got this pocket and this pocket up here. So that's kind of fun. And then here's our folio pocket and our little tag pocket. Then this flips open. Here's our little ATC pocket, and inside I put a little tag. Super cute. All right, so that lives in there. This flips open with our little turn tab, photo mats. Here's another pocket with more goodies in it. And then here's our center pocket with our beautiful September Folio and our little bookmark. And then over here is our file folder. So I like the way this turned out. I think it's really, really pretty. And I hope you enjoyed making it with me. We're getting close. We only have 3 more to go, folks. So, all right, that's it for me, Kathy Clement, Kathy by Design. Thanks for joining me. Go get your craft on. Bye.